All right. Yes, indeed. Yeah. All right, guys.
Let's
We
go.
are live. 1/5 of the slipping count. I gotta introduce my guy right, man. I gotta introduce my guy right. Allow me to please bless you, man. 1/5 of the Slipping Counter podcast. Oh, messed that up. Wait, 1/5 of the Slipping Counter podcast. Junior the Golden Boy. Bing Bing isn't here. He off, having his hot girl summer for his birthday and taking his legs. And then we got our guy though. Our boy, he wasn't gonna leave me hanging.
Come on, baby.
The birthday boy, the main man who always kept me sharp. The G-Lo is in the building. Yes, indeed. What's going
Yeah,
on, boy? You look great as always, man.
thank you. So do you, my brother. So do you. And hey, I'm ready to talk this boxing with you, man. It's always a pleasure. Let's do it. Now, let's get right to it right now. Your take on the whole Virgil Ortiz situation, and do you think that Stanionis would have beat him had they fought? That would have
Mm,
been, yo, that was gonna be such a good fight. Oh my, you know how long I was looking forward to that because their styles are so similar. So when you got two guys that like come forward and don't take a step back, they're meeting in the middle. So that it would have been real dope with that. But I believe Stanionis really would have gave Ortiz problems though, man. I think he's a big boogeyman in that division that a lot of people kind of avoid. What's your
yeah,
take on
I think where Virgil's health is right now would have given him problems.
that? Had Virgil not been had the health situation, you think he would have washed him?
I don't think he would have washed him, but I think he could have got. He would have beat him.
How do you
He would
think
have
that
beat him.
fight possibly would have played out?
Later rounds. I
Virgil
mean,
stopped.
Stanionis got a good jab, but
Amazing.
man,
When he fought Delorme, I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy has a piston.
yeah, he has a real good jab. But I think Virgil would have been able to revert back to his amateur pedigree and pulled it off like 8 through 12 and then
Mm.
done it that way. But now, well, how his body is, so what I'm hearing is he passed out and he needed mouth. I don't know, mouth to mouth resuscitation. I don't know how true it is, but I said me and Bink talked about it on the show like about a few months ago when he pulled out the second time. I won't even say the medical term because it'd be pointless. But basically, what's wrong with him is he has a blood disorder. Not like mine, but basically his muscle fibers, the more he cuts the weight and strains his body, the muscle fibers will break down and go into his bloodstream. The more it does that, his urine will get significantly darker and start looking like Coke and Pepsi out this bitch.
Coke and Pepsi out this bitch. Damn. That is insane.
And yeah. And what happened?
Damn, if this
And
continues, he
oh, there
might
we
not
go.
be able to fight again.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then if it thing is though, and then his kidneys will start to hurt, his kidneys get shut down. That's a lot that could go into. And you talking about something that can't go backwards. The more he does it, the worse he's gonna get.
Yeah,
So when was this? Months ago? This is the third time the fight got cut. So it's
yeah.
like, okay, he's only gonna get a day older and another day bigger. So now it was like worse and worse. Are trying to cut that weight down, but he's in a predicament where he can't go to four. Let's say this happened when he was at 40. All right, I'm gonna go up to 47.
Yeah.
It ain't like I'm because everybody know once you go to 54, it's a different ball game. It's bigger boys,
Bigger
10-ounce
boy.
gloves and
Yeah, 10
everything.
ounce. That's when it goes up to 10-ounce gloves and not 8 ounces. Yeah.
Everybody knows you go up to that weight, you might not fight a guy like you who's at 54, who, like the Kodo, who Kodo was big for, was like a strong guy at 54, but still
Yeah.
just, a guy that's like Jared. Like, this is
Mhm.
a big fucking dude,
That's a
yo.
big ass.
Like,
Yeah, for real.
yeah, like me in the ring with him. Like, dude, I
Yeah,
still sometimes have nightmares, dude. Like, man, this dude
yeah,
was
yeah.
landing on me, man.
That's
Like,
very true.
I swear, mano. I'm like, yo, you can't just do that.
Yeah, and even if you kind of have the size for the weight class, it's not only about your height, and also there's certain things like the bone density and things like that. How much muscle you can hold on to at that higher weight class? How can your skull hold up to the power? Because it's true. I would say once you get, I used to say always 168 and up, everybody can punch. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to think that 154 and up, almost everybody can punch. You don't see too many guys at 54 that are pillow fisted. You know, even if they're not devastating punchers, they still can hit you in a way where they'll get respect from you. You know, for sure.
Then it turns into pure boxing ability. Like we was talking about it in the gym. It was like, if it was about purely about boxing ability, then punches wouldn't matter. Because in the amateurs, you got being able to do who can crack, but just use your boxing ability and really get away with them.
3 rounds,
and pros, and the pros is that line gets closer and closer and closer and closer, because now it turns into, man, I'm boxing this dude tail off, and it's starting to still wearing on, because you sitting there like, man, the gloves that you already saw the Andre Ward documentary. He was talking about when he first put on the pro gloves, and he was like, "Oh, we fighting in these?
What the fuck did I get myself into?"
Yeah, he said we fighting in these.
Yeah,
like with a straight face. Like he was like, "We fighting in these?" Like, so it's your skill can only take you so far, because then that person who can, let's say if it's not like one punch knockout power, it's just break you down power. It's still like, dang, my skills is doing this, that, and the third, but it's still not.
And the thing is, in the pros,
everything,
even with the skills, you have to have the power to gain the other guy's respect, so you can really
exactly
the most out of your skills, you know.
Yep, and it's like you sitting there throwing these punches, and you like, man, I just get one of the pros told me. This one great pro, I'm not gonna say his name, but he told me, he was like, man, he got in there with this kid. The boy boxing ability ain't nowhere on his level. Nowhere on his level, man. And he like, man, he sat on the stool. Perfect timing, because I'm sitting there. He said he sat on the stool, and he was like, man, this dude can punch. He talking to his coach, man, this dude can punch, man. But ain't no big deal, no big deal. Like, give it by round 6, it ain't gonna have as much on it anymore. He said, he told me and my father, man,
it's still there.
Round, that's exactly what he said. He said round 5 going into 6, he sat on that stool. That man was say, man, go ahead, cut the gloves. He said, huh? He's winning. Like, people felt like he was winning. He said, man, cut them gloves off. So what you talking about, man? Go ahead, cut them off, man. He said, wait, man, that shit's still there. This is how he's talking, like straight, like you sit like this on the stool. He said, man, that shit's still there. Go ahead, cut him.
Wow. Damn. Now, I wanted to ask you, give me a percentage of how big of a role does big power play in a fight? Like, how big of a role does it play, and how big of an advantage does it give you when you know you have that Lucas Matisse-esque type of equalizer?
I don't know if I told you this story.
I think it's there with Lamont, right?
Yeah.
With Lamont, yeah.
Man, for people who don't know,
homie say, yo, don't do
what I think.
Don't do what I think you about to do.
Hey, Barry, I know you ain't telling them to do what I think you telling them to. Man, I mean, look at I'll use my dad as an example. That last fight, that guy wasn't on my father level skill wise. But by the time they got in there after the weigh-in, dad coming in 150, dude coming in there 168.
Yeah, see, that's fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
But they still got on 8 ounces.
It's a matter of, and it goes back to what I said before. You gotta you can have all the skills in the world, but you gotta have respectable power as well. In fact, I've started to see with some guys, they hit so hard that you gotta get them out of there before they can get you. Like what Mike McCallum did to Julian Jackson. He got him out of there before Julian could catch him.
Did you
You
ever
know,
hear him talk about that fight?
Mike McCallum. I saw one interview
Yeah,
when Mike talked about that fight.
he said. I think he said, I forget what round he said. He said he got hit by Julian. He said, "Whoa, why is my body doing that?" He's like, he's, and it's like, bruh, I've been in there with some guys that get hit. Jared Hurd, Justin Hurd,
Monster,
um,
the monster.
Monster Mark Johns. Can't forget my guy, Monster Mark Johns. Actually, I told you that story, but I don't think I told that story publicly. And but that one, Mahiri Epps, Dusty Harrison can crack. Dusty Harrison got one hell of a right hand. Yeah, like Dusty Harrison, man, his Dusty Hernandez Harrison got one of the most purest bricks you could ever lay. Because the way he sets it up, he fights like an old school fighter. Takes his time. You're not gonna break his pace. No matter what you do with Dusty, you're not gonna force him to do something he doesn't want to do. You're not. And I'm trying to flurry him, triple hook, and he just we're both amateurs. We're both amateurs.
That patient is an amateur. Interesting.
Whoa, oh yeah, Dusty. Oh my God, we did two before I got sick. We did 2 training camps together, and that was because him and his dad saw me spar. That's the same story I told you when they was like, y'all better get y'all shit together because he's back in the gym and he's good and he doesn't know he's good. That story.
Yep.
So he was like, I had divulged to him about my illness. And he was like, all right, well, let's slow the pace down. And that was the first spawn session. He was like, just take your time. Get the shot off when you need it. Like, we're just trying to get points. Like, that the way Dusty fights is the way he acts. Like,
Chill.
Yup. Boom, boom. He'll give you a rock. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Drop another brick on you.
Wouldn't that fuck him up with the amateur judging, though? Because amateur judges like to see a lot of volume. So he probably lost a lot of decisions because of that.
Bruh, we all knew he wasn't going to make no Olympic team. He was a national champ, and we knew he ain't going to Colorado.
He had too much of a pro style.
Too much. Because that's all. He was just like me. All we grew up around was pros.
Yeah.
That's all we knew was pros. He's 15 years old sparring Chop Chop.
Chop Chop Corley? Fire. That's hard.
15. Right? And of course, Chop Chop now trying to hurt him. Chop Chop hitting him with some shit. Yeah, he working with him, but Chop Chop dropping some shit on him.
Yo, Chop Chop could fight, yo. A lot of people forget about DeMarcus Corley, bro. He even hit Floyd with some shit, bro. He could fight.
Yeah. Everybody knew since the amateurs Chop could crack. Watch that pro fight with him and Floyd. Floyd said it at the end when they were pulling the gloves. He said, man, yo, tell Chop Chop he still hit hard as shit, man. Chop Chop could crack. Like he's saying it. That's when he had the conversation with, hey, yo, you gonna stay in my camp from that fight on. Because remember, they were all in the amateurs together. James Baker, Fernando Vargas, Diego Morales, the trainer that's around him, right? Gerald Tucker, GT. They were all on the national team together. Chop Chop, Fernando Vargas, Zab Judah, all of them were on nationals team together.
So they knew each other.
They all knew each other very well.
Like, damn. Like when they all fought each other, like shit, damn. You know, but no wonder Zab Judah and Chop Chop Corley had like a little mini rivalry. I think after they fought in the pros.
Oh yeah, all the time.
You know, because they knew each other.
As soon as Zab got hurt, Chop Chop threw that shit out the window. Was like, yo, he was gonna go up to New York. I don't know if he did, but I know he was trying to he was really trying to make sure Zab was good. Like all that shit went out the window.
No,
you know, when he found out Zab got hurt, all that. Remember, just a week prior, they were talking trash to each other on Instagram.
Yeah,
out the window. Is Zab all right? And what's going on with Zab? And, you know, so. But
back to the power thing. Yeah, back to the power thing. What is the percentage that you think it plays in determining the outcome?
Pros or amateur?
Pros. Amateur is only 3 rounds.
80%.
You could 80%.
In my opinion, yeah.
That's a higher number than I expected you to say. It's funny because me and my dad talk boxing all the time, and he tells me all the time, he's like, don't ever sleep on somebody with power. And one thing my dad always does is he always looks at the guy's knockout ratio. And I'm like, oh, this guy, come on, he looks like he's a little, they probably picked him or cherry. He's like, he got this many fights and this many knockouts. Don't sleep on him. You want to know when that happened? Just this past weekend with Danielito Zorrilla, right? I know Danielito had like a sneaky little right hand, but I'm like, I don't think he hits hard enough to disrupt Regis. My dad was like, yo, don't ever sleep on somebody who can punch. Porque desde que él siente un golpe, everything changes. Mareado, la pelea entera. I was like, oh, but the skill
translated for some of the see, I nodded my head. I know what you're saying, but go ahead, translate it for the people who don't know.
And so basically, my dad always says, he's like, the importance with somebody who has power is that, yeah, you can be better than him, you can have more skills, you can be faster, better footwork, everything. But the moment he lands something clean, you can be like dizzy the whole fight. That one shot that he landed on, you can fuck up everything. Can even fuck up your reflex, everything. If he hits you clean or he hits you one time really hard in the body, you know, it can actually fuck up your game plan. You're probably like, okay, I'm gonna fight like this, but then you feel something, you're like, hold up, I don't want to get hit with that again. Let me fight differently. And now you're forced to fight the other guy's fight because you were just so overwhelmed by the way that he punches. So my dad always says, do not ever count out somebody with power. Ever, ever, ever. The puncher's chance is real. Because even if that shot doesn't knock you the fuck out, it can have you like, okay, hold the fuck up. You know, like, let me tighten up a little bit or let me try something. You know, an example I remember you talking about that was when Jermell Charlo fought. We got to talk about him and Cinnamon later, though. I think that fight's bullshit. We got to talk about that later, though. When Jermell Charlo fought Banana Rosario.
Oh, Banana had him rolling, though.
Banana
had him rolling. That man looked like Winky Wright for a second, didn't he? That man was...
Yeah. With that high guard, yo, and it's funny because it's like he felt a jab, and you all of a sudden see the old Jermell Charlo starting to come back. He's not coming really up here anymore. He's coming here. He's moving around. He's still throwing some hard shit, but you can see he's not like the new and improved Derek James Jermell Charlo. He kind of went back to the old one. Luckily, he was able to land that jab to the body that sucked the air out of Banana. But had it not been for that later on in that fight, could have been K's. What you think?
Oh, hell yeah.
For sure, man.
Man.
80%, man. That is insane.
I'm going to tell you why I say now, don't sleep on power in the amateurs. Now, it's more difficult to get a knockout in the amateurs, like a pure, you see the shot coming and the dude just hit too hard type of knockout, because the timing got to be more impeccable in the amateurs because the gloves are bigger, the headgear, the shirt, the gloves. So people don't understand. Amateur gloves are puffier, so you can have a 10-ounce amateur glove on and it's puffier because it's meant to absorb shock. The pro glove is meant to deliver, still protect the opponent, but to deliver shock. It's fucked up as that sounds. It's meant to deliver shock while at the same time reducing it, which is weird how they like. I literally read
it's meant more to protect the fighter's hand.
Yeah, it's meant to not have as much kickback. In the pros is sit there to sit there and not have as much released. Basically, the same glove that is in the amateurs that's set to absorb the shock and stay inside the glove. Though they just reduce it and streamline the glove more. So it's still protecting the opponent, but it's just a lesser chance of it staying in the glove. It might go through the glove and go to the opponent and cause concussion.
Which is a knockout.
And this is why, like, for instance, let's look at the whole story. Me and Dad was just talking about it, the Devin Haney story. Oh, charge your phone up because we might switch over to Instagram. If you cool with it, we might switch over.
Of course I'm cool with it. Let's get it.
All right. So, well, how much juice you got?
I got a decent little chunk. I got like 60%. I'm gonna pop it on the charger right now while we continue to chop on here.
Man.
All right, go ahead.
It's this little youngin, bro. Matter of fact, I'll tell the story, then I'll bring up this little youngin. Me and Dad was talking about the story when Devin was 17 and he went up there and sparred Tank. Remember, I told you that story when I got the news about it. I called you like, bro, what happened? He was like, yo, what did you hear? I said, Gio was like, what did you hear? What you hear, bro? What you got? I'm like, mano, he caught Tank coming off the plane, dog. Like he caught Tank coming off. Tank was halfway twisted and still got in there and sparred this kid. And he, giving it good work. And all of a sudden, 18-ounce gloves on. Hit Devin, boom. Second shot, boom. Then he wound up tilting him. Twin jumped in the ring. Oh, you don't know this full. Oh, you don't know the full story. You don't know the full story? Okay, let's
Wait, the Mayweather gym when Adrian Broner,
yes.
AB came in and split him up, right?
Yes. The whole story is them Bama's was partying. Him, Tank, Twin, knew what them Bama's was partying. They got off the plane. They already had a few on the plane. Oh. And they stopped. They wasn't supposed to spar that day. They stopped at the gym. Oh. Hey, you think you could get some work? All right, man. All right, whatever. Hey, Floyd, like, throw on my stuff. They like, man, throw on my stuff, whatever. Tank put on his stuff. Devin get in there. Devin's 17. But remember, Devin's a pro in Mexico.
Yeah, he turned pro at 17. Facts.
And he hit from the way I was told the story. Twin told it the exact way with Gillian Water. He said he hit that Bama, first shot, boom, froze him. He was sleep standing up. The second shot, boom, now he's starting to tilt. And Twin, and they run up in there. He grabbed Devin, and he's holding him. And it turned into a big rah-rah thing where it was about to be a big hoopla up in there where it could have got very violent because Twin did the right. Twin got a good heart. Like if you really know Adrian, he just make bad decisions when it ain't got nothing. When it got to do with him sometimes. Mm-hmm. And he whole thing like he's a pro, but he's still a child.
Bro, he young as hell, facts.
Yeah, and you in there with a pro can cry. Now imagine if them puffy winning 18-ounce gloves ain't on. They had on winnings, bro. They had on winning headgear. And winning gloves. And that's I don't mean the winning faceless joint.
This.
Yes.
That's meant to make sure you don't get knocked out.
And this is the thing. I don't know if have you ever seen the inside of the one with the bar? I hate that one. I don't. Yeah, I till this day, I still wear even my winning one. I still wear the amateur one where it shows face, or I might wear the small amateur cheekbone one.
Yeah.
I don't.
Now that bar one is terrible.
Yeah, I gotta see. I too. Me and my dad are real claustrophobic. Like elevator, you can fucking forget it. Football helmet, you can fucking forget it.
Especially with your style, you need to see the.
Yeah, I gotta see it. Like it helps. It does help, but at a certain point, it feels claustrophobic in there. So like the winning one with the big cheekbone one, I still don't even like that one. Like I like Paulie Malignaggi, Dusty. All of us still wear amateur headgears. Like we just comfortable. It's Mike Tyson. He stayed wearing his amateur headgear.
Oh, yeah,
it's
with the.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just more comfortable. But the one with the bar, the football helmet one, it's a metal bar in the middle, bro. It ain't just cushion. Yeah, it's not just cushion there. It's a little tiny metal bar. Like remember the football players used to wear that single bar joint?
Yeah.
That's basically it's wrapped around all that cushion to help prevent it from shifting and whatever else. Man, I didn't even know that one time. I sparred one kid, man. I forget the kid name. I set up, fainted him, stepped over that Bama, followed me. I dropped the brick. And Dad was like, your hand, boy, it's got a bar in the middle. I'm like, you tell me that shit now? Like, come on, dog, this shit hurt. Oh my God, it hurts. I swear, man. But like, remember what Twin said? He said, take that headgear off, take them 18 ounces off, and you put 10, no shirt, no headgear, 8-ounce gloves on. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bro. You're going to sleep. Night-night.
Paul Williams style.
It's over. You can can it. That's why we're having this conversation about Tank now. And Tank got stoppages in the amateurs. But it's this one youngin Right now, go look this younger. He a twin. He got a twin. His name is Marcus Luther. Oh my
Marcus Luther.
God.
Let me write that name down.
Oh my God.
Marcus Luther.
Bruh. Matter of fact, we're gonna end this one right here. If your phone got more charge, if you need more charge, we'll stay on here. But we could get on and do this live right now on Instagram. And I'll talk about this kid. But matter of fact, well, I'll tell you some of it right now. This young
we're gonna let it charge for like 20 more minutes.
All right, he knocked this boy. He's knocking everything out in the amateurs, stopping them. The only other time this boy remind me of a name you probably, since you're in Florida, you might know this name. Joe Iligula. Go look up this youngin called Joe Iligula from the early 2000s, from like the 2009s to the early 10s. He fought Alan Russell, the one who be doing the mitts with the Russells all the time, the middle brother, the second oldest, man. And Alan beat him, but Alan told him, he said, man, that man was putting everything to sleep. Weird, man. This man was having highlight reels, man. I still can't believe he ain't knock out Danny O'Connor in the amateurs, and he beat Danny O'Connor, bro. He hit one youngin in the I think it was the Sunshine State game. Bruh. The dude can fight. The dude was following Joe.
Oh, man. That's where he fucked up at.
Boom, boom. I got southpaw. Boom, boom. And that dude, boom. Face first. Apollo Creed style. Face first. Crowd went nuts. I was like, that's the first time I ever seen him. I didn't know who he was. No one knew who he was.
It's always those guys that nobody knows who they are, and they come through just knocking niggas out.
Who is this dude? I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? They said, yo, he had 141 cleaning the house. I said, oh, he had 41? Glad I'm at 32.
Well, looks like I'm going to stay at 32.
Like, yeah, 38 going to be that limit, buddy.
It's crazy, yo, because there's guys who's crazy enough that's like, I want to fight that nigga.
Yeah. And I was smart enough to know that he was just too big for me. I wasn't like, what he was at 41 was what people, I wasn't as strong as him, but like people thought I was like, man, too tall, too long. My thing was my speed, but like too tall, too long, just too much. Yeah. And that's what he was. Remember when I told you my dad had that conversation and I'm sparring. I sparred like 2 guys that day. And they said, man, put some more muscle mass on Junior and he'd be ready for 41 or 52. Man, he'll kill. My father said, no. Not dead face, straight face. No, I'm not doing that to him. And he was like, man, what? He said, man, and Dad with a straight face said, I think Silk could get in there and box with anybody. One of the things I didn't understand back then, what my dad said that I understand now, is when I started going to these other training camps and I was requested, I had no problem just getting there. Like Makai Phillips, his brother, like him, like the Phillips brothers. My father had them first. Keyshawn Williams, my dad had him first. Wherever they went, they could fight. Like after they left my dad, and my dad needed a break from boxing, people was like, yo, who trained them? Don. Oh, all right. You know, they knew they, like, yeah, like they could get in there and they knew how to handle themselves. Like they never broke character. They still knew how to keep their fundamentals sharp. They still knew how to keep their feet right. They still knew. They never, oh God, okay, this guy's too much for me, and they start to curl up. None of that. It was still like you and I didn't understand that. Like wherever, and when my dad's at anywhere I take my son, I know he can fight. Like anywhere he go, he can box. He can box with anybody. Skill for skill, he can box with anyone. And then here are other people say, but there's size for a reason. He can have all that skill. He's sparring with bigger guys. But guess what? When he go up to 40, if he go up to 41 or he go up to 52, them dudes, he probably could box with them and everything. But as soon as they land that good shot on his chest, and it's like, and he really trying to suck that shot up, it's like taking 5 shots in a row.
That's very true. That's very true.
It takes more out of you. And it's like, and you know who the hell was at 41 and 52 if I would ever thought to do something that stupid? Mike Yes Indeed Reed, Gary Allen Russell, Marvelous, Marquise Moore, David Day Grayton, Kareem Remo Murray.
Damn, you would have had a lot of shit.
Hell no.
You got fucked.
I'm like, man, these flurries is not gonna work.
Word, man. Especially like in the amateurs, like 52 is like the equivalent of junior middleweight. A lot of those guys in 52 in the pros fight at junior middleweight.
Alantez Fox, 52.
Ay, bendito. Yeah, it was over, bro.
Alantez Fox, 52.
41.
Julian J. Rock Williams, 52.
Yeah, nah. Fuck
Antoine Action Douglas just made the jump from 41 to 52.
Antoine Douglas was nasty, bro. That's the guy that fought some European dude. He ended up losing when he was still a prospect. He was so
and it turned out the dude was on steroids and all of that.
Yeah, homie was on PEDs, from like Georgia, that weird country in Europe.
Yeah.
Antoine, he was never the same after that, by the way. I think he ended up getting stopped again.
Yeah.
But Antoine Douglas was
me and him still really cool, really tight, real tight.
He was dirty coming up, yo. He was really good, man. But it happens to the best of us, man. This is boxing, bro. One thing I always say is I never talk down on anybody in boxing. Everybody gets fucked up eventually. You get knocked out. That's reg shit, bro. That's reg shit. This is
look at Hammer and Hank Lundy this past weekend with the Scooby fight. And you know, Hammer and Hank Lundy is one of them dudes. He throw his gloves on his back and he just go to any town and be like, give me your guy. Yeah. But this one fight is that fight that, you know how they say retire from boxing before boxing retires
you.
All my years of being around Hammer and Hank Lundy, all of my years from when he stopped playing football and came into boxing to the John Molina fight.
John Molina was in some classics, yo.
Man, what? And he was beating the mess out of John Molina.
Yo, he's been in some. Nah, he was beating the shit out of him, yo. But he's been in some wars, bro.
Oh yeah.
And
I hope he got all his money. I haven't heard nothing about John Molina having money problems, nothing. I'm like, yes, thank the Lord, because he put everything out there. That Bama put it all out there.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, man, what? Man, he hit Hammer and Hank, and Hammer and Hank spun all the way around, hit the ground. I've seen, and then when he fought Bud, when he got stopped by Bud, I've seen Hammer and Hank Lundy get dropped. Never like this past weekend. Never seen Hammer and Hank Lundy get stopped like that, like get hit and his whole body, like his leg lift up, and then he do this, and then he curl up and go to the ground because he's hurt so bad, don't know where he is. Never seen it. And the ironic thing is he loses to a guy who 15 years ago was him. Guy coming from football, had all these offers, and turned to boxing. He lost to a guy who was in the mirror, who just got signed to a big promotion, is trying to fight on show box, and all that. That was him.
That was you, facts.
Irony of this game. And but power, bro. I mean, look at the guys. There's so many guys I done been around, man, where they just got that shot, man. That just, man, this little young and Marcus Luther, bro.
They got that shot that you spar. You learn how to box. You spar with them, and you go back home. You're like, yo, should I continue to do this?
Yeah, you having to think like, what the fuck? Because bro. You look this kid up. The first you're gonna message me. I don't want to say the name, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it because I already know this is gonna be the first name. Me and you are like this, so I already know you're gonna call me and say you was right. He fight like your boy, Tito Trinidad.
My guy. Wow.
Seek and destroy. He right here. Skip.
And one of the rare guys that can give it and take it. Because I've noticed that a lot of punchers can knock your shit out, but as soon as you hit them with something.
Oh, yeah. They either can't take a head shot or they can't take a body shot. One of the two.
Oh, that's the cool thing about these big punchers, yo. Yep. They can give it, but for some reason they can't take it. So when it's two punchers together, you're like, yo, the first one to land clean wins. We just got to see who it's going to be. Yo, I've seen it. So look at Wilfredo Gomez. This guy was never in a fight.
32 and 0, 32 knockouts.
And
Oh
all of
my
his
God.
losses were by KO. He was never in a fight.
KO. No, people, stop. Everybody really listen to what G-Lo just said. He said, and his wins were by KO, not TKO. I mean, he was putting Bama's out. You were out. Horsehair gloves, forget about it.
Yeah.
He would take his Everlast glove, and there's a picture with Wilfredo Gomez, when he would, like, you could see he had horsehairs on. He pinched them back and taped them mugs all the way up the head.
Oh,
so he turned an 8 ounce. He took them 8 ounces and turned them into folds and just started drilling you.
What's crazy is all of his losses were by KO. All of his losses were by KO too.
By KO.
Yo,
you know another one who like that? I'm gonna mess your head up. John the Beast Mugabe. 27-0.
Mugabe, bro.
Man, 27-0, 27 nights.
Yo, bro, it's a crazy phenomenon with those punches. But that's kind of what makes it cool. You know, very few guys who are big punchers can also take it. Like I just said, Tito. I done seen Tito get knocked down how many times? This dude gets back up and knocks the guy out. What? Like when he fought, I saw when he fought Jordi Boy Campos. Campos was a killer, bro. How the hell you got up from
that? And by that time, Campos was what? 70 or 60, 66 or 64 or 72, something like that. And
the shot he hit him with that knocked him down. I'm like, how the hell he got up from this? His head snapped back.
Yeah, it snapped completely.
But he's very, very few. One of the few people that can take it the same way that he can give it. Very, very rare. Just great chins, I think, are the rarest things in boxing. I'm talking about those chins that you can get hit by whatever puncher, and for some odd reason, you don't go to sleep.
So let me tell you about this kid. He had the number 1 ranking in the amateurs for like Marcus the past Newton? About over a year now. You know who just took the spot from him?
Who?
Take a guess. He's Instagram famous right now. They're calling him the Little Tank.
Oh,
Carmel Moton.
Yeah.
Carmel Moton beat him. But the thing was, Carmel stopping everybody. Luther stopping everybody went to ring 2. Everybody left ring 1, ring 3, go right to ring 2 and watch this jump.
Watch this shit.
Bruh. This shorty. Remember you saw that video of me? Don't say the name. But do you remember you were seeing all them videos like early last year? And you said, you back, bro. You still look good. You slipping and sliding, all that. I was special requested for that. I didn't know. That first one was just to see where I was at. And you know how I tell you how much I love Coach Her. I love that man. Like the Olympic coach, you know, and I'm still with him. So it's time for a tournament in this area. So many, you either moving down or moving up to get away from Marcus Luther, bro. You keeping your kid away from him. One of the kids had no other choice but to see him. So I got requested to spar because I can, as you seen in the video, I can switch hit.
Yeah, for sure.
Slim. I'm not putting nothing on nothing because we doing circle work.
Yep, you
just touching them. Just touch them. You know, I'm looking at Dad. They're like, just give him look, touch him, keep him up, because my feet are faster than Marcus Luther's. Like I could do more tricks with my feet than Luther can. So it's like if I can give him all of this and step off to the side with my feet, and he could deal with Luther just stepping side to side. Maybe he could be like, okay, Silk feet are fast, I can get away. Junior's feet are a little fast, I can get away. I could slide out or whatever, right? The whole thing in camp don't stay in front of him. the whole time, you can't read my lips too much in the video, but you can, one of the clips you can hear me saying, don't go that way. You walking right, and I will feint, drop the left hand. Feint, drop the left hand, right? I will feint, drop it, and I'll double it because I know doubling it is something that Marcus Luther's not gonna do. So I'm like, if I could double it, if I can feint you, double it, then maybe it'll be like, okay, okay, this gives you enough to, if I move away from this speed. I wasn't even shooting at my fastest because Marcus Luther isn't that fast. I know he's not that fast. So it's like, okay, just put enough.
Type of punchers. He's not really that snappy guy.
Yeah, it's all solid, like 85 speed. Like if you put it on a video game, like 85 speed. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull mines down slower, so that way, just a little bit faster than Marcus Luther. So that way, it'd be like when you get in there, oh, okay, it's not as fast. Then all right, I could get away because I'm known for speed, bruh. 8 weeks, hard 8 weeks of camp. We spawn 3 times a week. Circle work, 8-9 rounds, all bunch of circle work, spawn, all of that. 36 seconds.
You got caught.
Not me. He got in there with Marcus Luther, the kid I'm working with and been helping. He went right to it. So Marcus Luther was looking for the hook. So Marcus look at Southpaw. So you're looking for the hook, and he missed it. Second one, it rolled up the temple. My guy threw one straight right hand and landed it, and you could just see Marcus Luther like pissed him off. I'm like, oh, this ain't good. All right, and I swear, I'm just like, oh shit.
This is not gonna end well.
Bruh, walked him. Come around this corner. Walked him this way. Bow! Straight down the pipe. Knocked him from this corner. Stumble, all the way back to his corner and landed right there. That's how far he knocked him across the ring.
So you've seen scarier things in gyms than you've ever seen in fights.
Oh yeah, sometimes, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh hell yeah. A few more than once. I mean, it's the when he put him down. The thing is, Marcus Luther, just so you know, he's stopping everything in the first round. He rarely makes it to the second round. He rarely makes it to the 2-minute mark.
What weight class
see?
Is it in?
20, 22, 26 in the amateurs.
In the small
little. Weight. Yeah, he little.
In the amateur
guy. Him and his brother.
Because usually in the...
Tiene que ponerle 75 pesos.
Okay.
Voy a poner ese bill.
Okay.
De la tarjeta de crédito, porque tú ahora no le estás dando importancia al crédito y después te va a pensar.
Your whole face change. Like, yes. Like, I got you. Man. Putting
that's
down.
But yeah, so usually expect guys in heavier weight classes to usually crack like that in the amateurs, but in the lighter weight, because from what I've seen in amateurs and shows that I've seen, the lighter weight classes, they're more fast, they're moving around and things like that. But damn, if he's hitting like that at that light weight class, that's insane. So more guys get knocked the F out in the amateurs than one would even think.
Yeah, I'm saying plenty, especially it happens more locally than nationally, but like you'll see some knockouts in the nationals too. But a lot of times it be stoppage, like, oh, you call them with a shot, and they stop it or whatever.
8 counts and shit like that.
Yeah, but Luther is hitting these youngins and they crumbling to the canvas, bro. Crumbling. Damn. It's so bad that his father will post that shit on the Instagram and scratch out the name of the guy that he fight. Because they got on headgear, so you might not fully get the chance to see who it is unless you know their style.
Yeah.
To save that kid face. But still to put his son out there for, because he's turning that corner, or now he's 16 and he could be turning that. You taking this serious, trying to go to Olympus or turn pro and make sure we got an eye on Marcus Luther, and then we know what he's doing, But he's scratching out the name, like how we got this video up right now. Like if you watch an amateur fight, you'll see the names at the top of the screen, red and blue. They'll scratch out the other kid name out of respect, like, Oh yeah.
Can you imagine him when he gets to the pros? He probably gonna make it far. He's probably gonna make it
Man,
real far. Hopefully, he don't run into somebody that's equal. You know what I'm saying? I've noticed that happens sometimes too. You know, you see a lot of guys that make it to the top level when they were in amateurs. They were the shit, and then in the pros, and then in the pros, you know, because the thing is, like, one thing I've learned about boxing is there's a lot of monsters in this shit. And I think a lot of guys develop this complex where they think they're the only monster. Like, I'm the guy. I'm the boogeyman. There's way more. There are a lot of killers in this shit.
Not just that, G-Lo. It's not just that. It's more so they're so used to having a confidence and trying to not look past that confidence that they forget that stay confident, but still know you're touchable. Stay confident, but always know you're touchable. Like that's your way. That's how I always look at it, as I'm fast, I'm slick, I'm hard to hit, but always know that you could be hurt, but know that you know how to handle being hurt. You can handle it. You know how to see shots coming, whatever. Like, still have enough cognitive thinking, like common sense, to know. Don't be too ignorant to your own gift. Like, there's other guys who got, like, I always tell people, as soon as you think you're special, you got to look at tapes and realize you're no more special than Mildred Taylor. You're no more special than Pernell Whitaker. You're no more special than Chavez. No more special than Salvador Sanchez. You're no more special than Wilfred Gomez, Wilfredo Benitez. You're no more special than these other Alexis Arguello, Willie Pep. All these, you're no more special than them, because guess what? You're all at the apex together.
You're all at the apex together. Yep, that's very true. That's very true.
You know, so
hey man, we could start switching this up to IG now.
All right, let's go.
So
Heck yeah. I'm about to hit you now.
I bet.
All right.